you so much for tuning in to another fresh episode of Osprey Observer TV. Your host, Johnny Torres, joining me as always, Marie Gilmore. And this one is an episode as timely as ever because the Osprey Observer has been doing amazing things out in the community to help people recover from Hurricane Helene and Hurricane Milton. And so these few episodes that we're going to be doing are going to be centered around the hurricane, not only what's happening in the community to get it back up and running to where it was, but also some tips, some information, hopefully some education and knowledge on what you need to do if you were affected severely by Hurricane Helene or Hurricane Milton. So, Marie, let's go ahead and introduce our first guest for today.
Johnny, I'm so proud to be part of this community that after two disasters side by side within 2 weeks, doing our own recovery of our own homes, our own communities, reaching out to other communities. And we know our community suffered. You know, we've had people that were out of electricity, water, essential needs for over 10 days. And I am just blown away by the support of our community, our team here at the Osprey Observer, and the organizations in our community that activated so quickly to do whatever was needed to help our local residents. One of these happened very quickly last Thursday. I got an email, hey, we're doing a great event at the Regent in Winthrop in Riverview, Florida on Friday through the Angel Foundation of Florida. And they put together an amazing event that fulfilled so many needs of residents. And the president of the Angel Foundation, my friend Liz Brewer, is here to tell us about how that event came together and how the Angel Foundation got involved to help out our residents in such a big way. Welcome, Liz. Thank you so much for coming today.
Thank you. Thank you for inviting me. This is exciting.
So tell me about the event on Friday and how it all came together.
I'm going to be honest with you. You know, we are a small community, but we are a faithful community. And so I literally said a prayer Wednesday morning and said, what can we do in this community, Lord? Direct our steps, give us opportunities. So the Angel Foundation serves family all year long, going through life-threatening illnesses, catastrophic events. This was a massive catastrophic event for our community. And so I called my friend Shannon on Thursday, who's CEO of the Regent. And I said, how are you, Shannon? I called Eleanor Saunders from ECHO. How are you, Eleanor? Cheryl Hickman from Hope for Her. How are you? You know, how are you all doing personally? And found out that what was happening in the community. When I found out that a lot of people were going to the Regent looking for FEMA, they weren't there. And so she said, people are coming up to our doors with applications, looking for help, looking for gift cards, looking for clothing. And I said, well, can we help you with that? The Angel Foundation? Because we're ready. I have a team. We can come sit in your office. That phone call turned into us reaching out to Operation BBQ Relief through the help of Danny Alvarez, who connected me with them. And we were able to get 500 hot meals that were going to be picked up at 11 o'clock on Friday morning. Well, we have a Regent, we have meals. What else can we do? We called Feeding Tampa Bay. They said, we can be there. We can give out meal kits. We can give out disaster relief assistance, cleanup supplies. Okay, be there. And then I get a phone call later that morning, and they said, Senator Marco Rubio's office's location fell through. Can they come? And I said, absolutely. Now the God thing behind all this, Marie, you know this, Johnny, I'll share this with you. We were scheduled to have our 18th annual Evening of Hope that night at that event, that venue. So we already had it booked. There was nothing else going on that day. I mean, I get chills just thinking about it. And so we put out a request on social media through our e-blast. That simple. I say simple. It was a lot of phone calls and so forth. And we had over 40 volunteers. We had friends of ours from church, Jason, who I think you're going to be speaking to also about this. He's with the United Airline Pilots Union. And they said, well, we have a big RV and we have extra food from last week's relief that's in our freezer. Can we bring that? Yeah, come on down. So he fed over 50 volunteers. They grilled, gave them an opportunity to get away from the folks coming in to the Regent and go out and have a hot meal throughout that day. So we were there from 10 to 6. We gave away over 500 meals. We had people drop off donations there. We collected donations for ECHO and Hope for Her because their shelves were empty. And so we're super excited that literally the community just came together. It was a beautiful thing. People were hugging each other. The families that came in literally had nothing. We were able to distribute clothes that day. We were able to give them food to take and put in their tummies that day and connect them to the resources that are here in this community. So we have people coming into our office today to pick up gift cards because we need to get gift cards in their hands. It's one thing getting a box of, macaroni and cheese and canned goods, but it would be nice to be able to get some eggs and some bread and some orange juice or milk, or maybe diapers and formula at Publix. So we're going to give them gift cards. We have a special thing through the end of the month that families, when they come in, they don't have to go through that whole process that we typically do. We want to get the gift cards into the hands of these families as quickly as possible. So I'm just thrilled. Marie come out, dropped off supplies too, which are going to go into those hands of some of the moms. We gave away one of the car seats that day to a family. Yeah, so she left with a car seat and clothing. They lost everything. My heart is heavy, but it's literally, I'm glad that we were able to do this for our community in such a quick turnaround way.
So initially, we know that the immediate need, of course, is hot food and water, and because of course, people lose their power and they lose all the food that they had stored up, and even in some cases, they may have lost their hurricane supplies, because of the water intrusion and things like that. What are you now learning, kind of, as we're now a couple weeks away from the hurricane having taken place? How are the needs changing from those people that you are seeing come in?
I think what we see, our programs, we help families just like ours who get that colon cancer or have a catastrophic event. We help them more long-term. This is a short-term. This is crisis. So those families that things were just fine, we're the ones that lost everything in the refrigerator. So they needed those quick turnaround on goods. Many people have the resources to be able to give. And that's what they did, is they gave to these organizations like ours to give to these families and get them in the hands quickly. We're not a lot of red tape. We don't go through the whole process. You don't have to get, approvals. You can walk in. You can literally go into Hope for Her. You can go into ECHO. They served hundreds of families last week immediately. And that's the key, is that we've got to educate the community that these resources are there. God forbid it ever happen again. We will all mobilize once again. But truly, it was many people who, just like you said, they just lost everything overnight and just needed that quick turnaround to be able to get. Stores weren't even open at the time when all this was going down. But there were people, I know, throughout our community. I've seen different things on social media where there was places just set up just to distribute water, and Feeding Tampa Bay just giving out these kits. It's getting them in the hands quickly, so that now that things are settling down, we're going to see some of the folks who were maybe paycheck to paycheck, who are hourly workers, that they lost hours, they couldn't work. Restaurants were shut down, businesses were shut down. They're going to feel the pain this week, next week. And so that's where these organizations like ours and so many others are going to be there for those families as they come up out of the ashes and try to rebuild in the days ahead.
Well, and what I appreciated as well, Liz, is a lot of us who were able to, we still had electricity, we still had water. For one thing, in my family, we just didn't leave the house for 5 days because I didn't want to use up essential resources and fuel that was in short supply that people needed to keep their essential electricity and everything. So I just said, you know what, we can walk. We can walk the neighborhood, do things in the neighborhood. We can help out our neighbors, our paths around the community. We don't need fuel to get to a job, to get to essential needs, or to run a generator. So I was very careful during those first few days to really try to just limit my resources to what I had. I was prepared. We had water, food, everything we needed. There was no reason for us to leave our neighborhood. What I really appreciated was there's so much need. And it's hard to direct your resources to know they're going to go local. And what I loved about the event at the Regent, about ECHO and Hope for Her and Angel Foundation, is when I drove up in Riverview to the region, I knew any assistance was going straight into the hands of local residents. So thank you so much, Liz, for what you do, for how you activated all those organizations. I love the fact that we can get our groups to work together for the greater good, which at the end of the day is the well-being and welfare of our local neighbors right here in Southeast Hillsborough County. So what an amazing job. It was such a joy to see the volunteers. Everyone was happy to have a way to hands-on give a tangible resource and to be able to directly engage with those residents. I know there's a lot more work ahead, but this maybe gave them a tiny little spark of hope that help is coming, and that now they can do the filings and do the paperwork and do, what they need to do with their insurance and to really start restoring those homes and those communities. I know more and more work is ahead for us. We have a lot of areas of our community that really are damaged and suffering. And I hope that this heart of gathering and working together continues as we go along. You and I will stay in touch. Angel Foundation, you have my heart with what you do for a community, typically families in crisis, but in this case, you've activated for a community in crisis. So thank you, Liz, to you and all your volunteers and your connections in the community for making a difference during this Hurricane Helene and Milton time. And we'll stay in touch on how we can continue to help in the future.
Absolutely. And we'll keep posting needs on our website. We'll have immediate needs that volunteers can just jump in. So we'll put them on our social media page, and that way we can get those needs out. Because like you said, they're going to continue, and we want to still be here as long as it takes to get the community back to some type of normalcy. So thank you for having me. Thank you for the good work you do and for sharing all the good news with the community in the good times. And so right now we are going to come together as a community, and we're going to get back there.
That is wonderful. And go ahead and just say out loud for us the best way for people to get involved and engaged with the Angel Foundation. Give us the address directly. Yeah.
Yes. So it's angelfoundationfl.com. So Florida, angelfoundationfl.com. And literally it says be an angel. They can be a volunteer. They can be a donor. They can be a dropping off supplies and stuff like that. There's a contact me. However, they need to reach us, Pam, Penny, and myself. We also run the gift shop at the hospital. So if somebody needs to get into there, drop off supplies, take them to the hospital, just reach out to us. We will come to them if we need to. We will make sure that the people's needs are met, not just this week, but we're here forever. So they're going to continue for a while. So thank you so much for letting me share that as well.
Before we let you go, I just want to say how impressed I am because, few people know the amount of work and really the skill and talent that it takes to coordinate something like this. And to be able to pull off what you have, again, is incredibly not only necessary and important, but it's also remarkable. And so, again, we appreciate your work and we're glad that we're fortunate enough to have you in our community. Again, if you could just one last time, let people know where they can find you. And again, thank you so much for everything you're doing.
Yes, angelfoundationfl.com. We are located right in Brandon near the Brandon Parkway, but we are literally 813-689-6889. Me and my staff are there to serve. So yeah, just reach out and we'll do everything we can to help. So thank you both.
All right. Well, this is part one of our hurricane series here at the Osprey Observer TV. Thank you again for joining us. We have more coming up. So again, make sure that you subscribe, follow us on all of our social media platforms. If you're catching the audio version of this platform, again, make sure that you follow us, like, and subscribe there as well. Share this incredible information with your neighbors, with, on those Facebook pages, in those Facebook groups, because now's the time to help each other out more than ever. And so, more exciting episodes coming your way here on Osprey Observer TV.